Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is Monday, so you know what time it is. It is time for our 911 recap. Y'all, this episode was crazy, okay? Let's just jump right into it. So this is episode 6 of season 3 and the title is Monsters. So apparently it's Halloween in California, and these badass children, they I guess a school field trip or something like that, I don't know, but they go to this harvest fest or something like that, this little pumpkin patch area. And these two kids, they getting smart with the teacher like, look, if you ain't back on this bus, okay, you liable to get left. She wasn't gonna leave them children, but as bad as they was acting, she should have. Anyway, these badass kids, they running around the harvest, they knocking stuff over, they just throwing stuff, just acting a damn monkey. And next you see them, they go into the corn maze. At first, I thought they was gonna get lost in the damn thing, and they was gonna have to go find them and all this other crap. But no, they see this scarecrow with all these crows on it. So one of the big boy, he want decide to pick up a rock and throw the damn going rock at the crows. The next thing you know, the crows is just chasing these boys down in this corn maze, and that's what they get. Okay, so of course it was a 911 call. The teacher like, the birds are going crazy, they're attacking the kids or whatever. So the fire trucks, they show up, and I'm like, what is the fire trucks gonna do, hose the damn crows down? But whatever. So they the kids that was already on the school bus and the two teachers, the lady like, look, it's two kids in there, they hiding out in the barn, the crows is going crazy, they like sitting here plotting. So they like, what in the world? And him, she like this crow expert or something. I was just like, how she know all this information on these damn crows? But whatever, because she like, don't make no sudden moves. Move slowly. If you don't bother the crows won't bother you, type thing. So they and Chimney, he messing with his name badge. His name badge keep falling off and stuff like that. So they like, don't make no sudden moves. His name badge, it fell off. He picked it up, put it back on. They was like, look, we know your name. Stop worrying about that badge. It fall off again. They was like, look, just leave that thing there. Cause then a crow came and was just like plotting. And they was like, just leave the badge. So they finally make it over to, and it was like a whole bunch of crows on the barn, on the hay. It was a bunch of them. So they finally make it into the barn. The birds then pecked the crap out that little boy neck. The other little boy, he looked like he didn't really get hit with the crows. I mean, not the crows. The crows ain't really get him, but he ain't throw the rock, right? So him like, what was y'all doing? Y'all was aggravating them crows and stuff like that. And the big boy, he was like, no, we ain't do nothing. We was just minding our business and stuff. And then the little boy, he snitched on him real quick. And so him was like, crows, they hold grudges and they remember what you look like. They waiting for y'all. Like they waiting for you at the door, okay? Like that, because it's like literally, because they was waiting at the damn door. So what she say, they said it, the crows is looking for two boys or whatever, and so they was like, so how we gonna get them out of here? They didn't wrap the big boy in bandage, so he looked like a whole mummy, he on the gurney, and then they put the little boy in the Bobby's fireman's jacket or whatever, and put the hat on his face. So at first they thought the crows had recognized them and stuff like that, but the crows didn't. And they made it to the they made it out or whatever, but I don't know, crows getting to them or whatever like that. At first, because this thing was so crazy. Chimney, if he over there having a face off with the damn bird, and he's talking to the bird, he didn't give the bird a granola bar and all this other stuff. And so then they finally like made it or whatever to the fire station, and the kids went to the ER or whatever. So they get to the firehouse. Chimney like, y'all see that crow or whatever like that? Because he saw the crow on top of the fire truck. And he was like, you done follow me? You stalked me type thing and whatever like that. And so then he turned, or who came? Somebody came up. I can't remember who had came up. But by the time they looked, the crow was gone. So Chimney thought he was tripping, and the crow wasn't really there or whatever like that. But I was like, was the crow there or was the crow not there? But anyway, We see Althena and Bobby, they setting up in their backyard with like the big screen and like some like blankets and stuff like that. So May and her friends can have like a little Halloween party, like watching movies and stuff like that. I was like, that's a nice little setup. I like that with the doors to the house all open up and the big screen and you just sitting outside and the weather was nice because sometimes Cali can be a little chilly, but I think it's like mostly like spring fall type weather in Cali. Oh, well, I guess depending on where you live at. But anyway, so I was like, that's a nice little setup. But they start talking. They start talking about Bobby. He hasn't been sleeping. And Althena was like, you got about 8 desserts in there because you can't sleep and you up cooking all night and stuff like that. So Bobby's stressed cooking because Buck coming back to work and he don't really know, how to feel about that type thing. So they just talk about that. And then next thing we see, Buck, he coming back to the firehouse. So it wasn't no people that was like, the firefighters and stuff like that, but we ain't recognize them. Like they wasn't the crew we see or whatever like that. They was just there and stuff like that. And his crew, they didn't have like no welcome sign, no welcome cake, like nothing. So Buck was just like, damn, like you could see it on his face. He felt some type of way about that. So then Hen came and Hen was like, welcome back and stuff like that. And she had like a cupcake for him and stuff. And she was pretty much like the team feels like they because Buck was like he don't have no friends, and him was like, well, you do have friends. The team is really kind of following Bobby's lead type thing, and doing what Bobby do because they don't want to feel like they overstepping Bobby, or whatever like that. Which is crazy because like if you still friends with Buck, be friends with Buck. Like, let Bobby do Bobby or whatever like that. So him was like, she marched to the beat of her own drum and stuff like that. And then Buck, had she was just trying to give him like some words of encouragement and stuff like that. When Buck had asked her about their baby making situation and stuff like that, she didn't really want to talk about it. So we don't still have no update on what they're gonna do next. So then we see Eddie, he walk in. He is bruised up. So he must be going to that fight club thing like every night because he was bruised. All his whole elbow and stuff was all bruised up. It was a mess. But he just kind of like cut Buck with the he here type thing. Like he ain't he was giving Buck no play, like for real. And Bobby I think he was about to do something. He was about to give some rules or something or something, and then they got a call, and so Bobby had left, and then Buck was like, "Oh, you know how Buck do? He was all ready to go and all this other stuff." And Bobby was like, "Nah, I think you should just stay back. Just stay back. This is my house, or type thing." I was like, "Oh, Bobby, you being real petty right now." Then this part, y'all, Maddie. So Maddie with the lady. Remember, she was with the lady. The lady, the husband was abusing her and stuff like that. So she with the lady. She didn't pick the lady up from the gym class, from gym or something like that, because the lady car wouldn't start or something like that. So, Maddie, being a good Samaritan, drives the girl home. So, the girl on the phone fussing with her husband. I guess he cussing her out because the car wouldn't start. Like that's her fault. Like, if she want, like, she would just be like, "Oh, I don't want the car to start today, so let the car not start." Like, get out of here. Anyway, so they arguing, and then Maddie saw some luggage in the back seat. I'm not the back seat, in the trunk of the lady car, and she was like, "Oh, I was, had clients to go this way and this way, whatever like that, so I just had stuff in my trunk and the luggage or whatever like that." So the lady want to get away, like she want to escape, but she really don't know how to escape because she got the luggage in there. She making these phone calls, so she really want help and want to get out, but she just don't know how. And then Maddie would just tell the lady the damn truth, like, oh my Jesus. Anyway, so she like, "I can't repay you enough, blah blah blah." And Maddie was like, "Well, I got one way, you can repay me. Can I use your bathroom and stuff?" So the lady was like, "Yeah, sure, you can use my bathroom." They got a bathroom downstairs. So this house is nice. It's gorgeous. They got a bathroom downstairs. She tell Maddie the bathroom right there. Just go straight. You ain't even gotta walk up no steps and that. Maddie go Why this? Because the lady husband called again. Okay, he just spoke to her 2 seconds ago. He calling again to fuss her out some more about the damn car. And I guess Maddie, because she told him that Maddie was there. So anyway, Maddie go upstairs, y'all. She go upstairs. She all in the people bathroom. She all in their medicine cabinet reading the meds. I guess somebody was on oxycodone. I don't know if it was the ladies or the men. I had looked down and I didn't see whose it was or whatever like that. Then she go in the bedroom. I'm like, Maddie, what is you doing? Like, you think the lady ain't gonna come upstairs and catch you in her bed? She in the bedroom. She looking at the pictures or whatever. But they had like this nice view, like when you looked outside the window or whatever. So the lady came upstairs and, of course, caught Maddie in the bedroom. So she was like, she was like, you walked past the bathroom. What are you doing? She was like, oh, yeah, you caught me. It was a beautiful view up here, and I just had to see it or whatever like that. And I think the lady was like a little suspicious, but she ain't really say nothing. I'd have been like, bitch, what is you doing upstairs in my bedroom? If you don't get the beep, 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 beep out of here, like, she'd have been gone. But no. She asked Maddie, did she want to drink? And then they sat down and was chatting. I was just like, are you serious? But anyway, Maddie started telling her kind of sort of how about her ex and how she escaped and how her ex wanted her isolated because she just wanted it to be them two. And the lady had said that her husband had just wanted it to be just them two in the house, and they've been far from the family, and they like on this because I don't think there's no other houses on that street. So she was saying like her ex-husband was, so this is Maddie was saying, that her ex-husband was like that too. He just wanted it to be the two of them and all this other stuff. And then she finally built up the courage to leave him and blah, blah, blah. So she telling the lady, but she not telling the lady. Like, she should just tell the freaking lady what's going on. But no, Maddie want to do stuff Maddie way. And it's just ridiculous. But, because I'm all out of order. I had to go to my computer because my hand was hurting, y'all. All right. Oh, so then we done with Maddie and the lady or whatever like that. So it's nighttime. This a 911 call. Well, not really. Yeah, no. So we see this lady. She driving in a car. She talking on her Bluetooth or whatever to somebody, and they talking about a Halloween costume, a party, or some nonsense like that. So she driving. And while she driving, because she was distracted, I guess she looked down or something, because I'm like, you on a Bluetooth, like, how much distraction you need? You ain't even gotta hang up. They hang up the phone, just whatever. But anyway, she got distracted. Next thing you know, she hit somebody. The man fly through the damn windshield. And instead of stopping and calling 911, she drives home and parks the car in her garage. I said, what? So she parked the car in her driveway. And I don't know if this was a real story or not, because I'm trying to think, like, because I watch a lot of TV. Well, I did back a while ago, but because I got a lot of shows on DVR right now, and then I'm mostly sucked into YouTube. So I don't know if this was like a CSI TV show, or if this was on like the news where somebody had hit a person, and they was in their windshield and they was in the garage. I'm gonna have to Google it because I think this is familiar. But anyway, the lady parks the car. It's in her garage. The man's still alive, y'all. She don't see the man. It's like she don't see the man. It's like she don't see the man there or nothing like that. We go off from the lady and the man because the next scene is Maddie and Chimney. I was like, okay, so when somebody gonna call 911? Okay, I'm just gonna watch like everybody else. So anyway, we see Maddie and Chimney. They came, I think they saw Halloween or whatever like that. So Maddie asking him all these questions. They talking about like that. Maddie run into the lady. She at the movies to see something with her husband. Girl. She like, oh hey Maddie, how you doing? Chimney like, I don't know this lady. So she was like, oh yeah, this is my husband. This is Maddie that I was telling you about, blah blah blah. Chimney standing there right beside Maddie. So this Maddie, this Chimney. She don't introduce Chimney at all. Chimney like, okay, hey, and I'm Chimney. Like, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is Chimney. This is my friend. And, or whatever like that. So she was like, oh, yeah, Chimney the firefighter and stuff like that. And, it must be awesome to have a nurse and Chimney like, a nurse? Like, she is still a nurse, but she not working in the capacity as a nurse anymore. So, I mean, technically she is still a nurse, so it wasn't a lie, but she wasn't telling what her new job was. So Chimney ain't say nothing, but his face said it all pretty much. And so she was like, oh well, we gotta go. We gotta go. He has an early shift tomorrow or whatever like that. So they say goodbye, whatever like that. And Chimney, he like, what is going on? Why she think you a nurse? And why how do you know her? Like all this other stuff. And so then Maddie finally had broke down and told him what was going on. He was livid. He was like, why would you do that? You are lying to her. You are just like Doug. You are pretending that you are somebody else and you are lying to her. Like, Doug did this to me. He did all of this and pretending like he was my friend just to get to you and to hurt you. And she was like, I am not like Doug. I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm trying to help her. And all this stuff. Like, it was like she was not getting what he was saying. Like, you trying to help her, but you is acting real stalkerish. So he was like, if you was trying to help her and it wasn't such a secret, you would have told me about this old stalker mission that you had planned last week or something like that. And she was like, that ain't fair. So they going back and forth. And so Chimney finally was just like, you know what, at least you told the truth about me working an early shift. I gotta go. Let's go, or whatever like that. So they go. And so next thing we see, they at the firehouse or whatever like that. Bobby has assigned Buck to do like this trunk or treat thing or whatever like that. So like the kids come to the firehouse, get candy and stuff, and in a safe environment and stuff like that. And a lot of places doing the trunk or treats now too. Most times you get some bomb ass candy from the trunk or treats versus going door to door. But yeah. Anyway, so first Buck, he all in his fields and stuff like that because of course he don't want to stay back and all this other crap. And so Chimney was pretty much like, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, I had to stay here for 3 weeks, cleaning and busting my ass and all this other stuff. And so I mean, this is your time pretty much. That's what he was telling them. And so but I don't even know what he's. Oh, the crow was somewhere, and Chimney saw the crow again, and then Eddie came up, and Chimney was like, "You don't see that crow?" And Eddie was like, "What crow? Like, what are you talking about?" So it's like the crow was stalking him, playing him, or something, or was Chimney seeing stuff? We don't know at this point. But anyway, so the next day, we see the lady. Remember the lady who hit the man? So we see her. She come out the house. She had on like a black shoe and a red shoe, or a black shoe and an orange shoe. Whatever color the shoe was, it was mismatched. She got this big ass knot like on her face, like huge. She was huge. So she had like this big old knot on her forehead and cuts on her face and stuff like that. She get in the car, and I'm like, all right, man, it's daylight or something like that, She had time to sleep on it. She get in the car and she was like, oh my God, I forgot the list. The list? What? 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 Huh? It's a whole body. Lady, it's a body in the windshield. So she backs out. She go back in the house. She get the list, y'all. She go back in the car. She backs the car out and starts driving down the car. When this the man is hanging in her freaking windshield. So they driving. She driving or whatever like that. She drive past these people. This black family or whatever like that. They first they see a car and they had like a hand or body, or arm, a fake, like a fake bloody arm hanging on the trunk of the car. And so the little girl was like, that is so corny, like whatever, or whatever like that. And she was like, the world is so desensitized and blah, blah, blah. So then the lady with the body hanging out the car, and this man, like, is just like this. Like, he is just like literally like this out the car. So he just hanging out the car. And so the kid was like, the little boy, oh, that's so cool. Like, what? And the little girl, like, what? That is just so ridiculous. Or whatever like that. And they thinking it's fake. The parents like, did you see that? So the daddy, he it's a lady with a so he immediately called 911. And I'm like, who would think that was freaking real? Like, I mean, fake. Like, who would put a body through a whole winch? Just like, who would do that? Like, you breaking your winch, child. Anyway, so this lady then drove off. She down the road. The man and called 911. That's when we see Maddie. And Maddie, like, really, it's Halloween. Like, it's probably fake and like that. He was like, no, we saw it move. It's real. So he only got the 2 letters of the license plate. And then Maddie told the cops to, like, be on the lookout and stuff like that. But they really wasn't taking it all that seriously. And so then Maddie, yeah, so they, you know, they got the alert and stuff like that, so they on watch for the car, whatever like that. So then we see Maddie and her friend, they chatted up, whatever like that. She a cat with the she had the ears on, and then her shirt said I'm a cat, and he was a whole pirate. But I was like, well, that's cute. That's a cute idea. I might do that myself. Okay. But anyway, not the pirate, the cat. But we see Bucky handing out candy. This little greedy ass kid, he's trying to take all the candy out the bucket. Buck like, no, it's only a 2 candy limit and stuff like that. This little boy played the ish out of Buck, talking about well, where's your costume? He was like, I'm a firefighter or like that. He was like, well, why you ain't out with the regular firefighters? So he was like, something about he was handing out candy or something. He was like, oh, what did he say? He said something else. And then he was like, oh, look, y'all, the real firefighters is showing up. I said, oh, he played the ish out of Buck. Buck like, so then Buck, of course, she trying to talk to Eddie again. Eddie still ain't feeling him. He was, so Eddie played him dust or whatever like that. Next we see this man, he handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters and stuff like that. And then this kid come up, and she looked like a whole zombie, but she had like a handcuff on with blood hanging out and stuff like that. And then he realized, like, that's not a costume, that's her or whatever like that. And the little girl passed out. Next thing, oh no, that wasn't the next thing. So oh yeah. So next thing we see, Althena, she at the hospital. The doctor telling her like the girl dehydrated, she's starved, she has been mistreated. She like, this is from within, like this is not like overnight and blah blah blah. So Althena like, what? Like, you know, so you know she trying to figure out what's going on. She asking the doctor like, you see any soil on her feet, like what her feet look like. We trying to tell how far she walked from and stuff like that. So the doctor was like, her feet really wasn't all that bruised up, so that means she ain't really walked that far to get to the man's house. So it was on that block or whatever like that. So Althena go back to the block. She got her crew or whatever like that. The man was like, one of the police officers, he was like, you like everything is unusual today, like it's Halloween or whatever like that. So she was like, well, maybe we looking for a house that didn't want to be noticed. So of course she find the house. She by herself. I'm like, Althena, last season you almost got killed by that crazy ass lady who was chopping up her boyfriends and shit and gluing them back together, and then you still going to houses by yourself. If you don't stop it, oh. But so she go in the house. She got her flashlight and stuff like that. The house stank. It got flies flying all over the place. Ain't no electricity. It just looked like it ain't been lived in, but it's kids' toys and all this other stuff. So she go in to the basement and stuff like that. She can barely go in the basement because it stank. Okay, it was just like it took her breath. So she go down in the basement. All these kids hand cut. I don't even know how many kids. It looked like about 10. I don't know. All these kids locked. I'm not locked. Yeah. Basically locked up, shackled to each other in this freaking dirty ass basement. So the firefighters, the ambulance, you know, they all came or whatever like that. tell me what the social services came to the Althena and was like, these kids haven't been kidnapped. They said that their parents did this to them. These are the parents' children and stuff like that. These MFing parents roll up to this house in this old ass 1919 station wagon, looking like the Griswolds of Family Vacation type jink, and they go. And they all like, oh, what are you doing here? Have you found Bethany? Have you found Bethany? She ran away. Yeah, bitch, we found Bethany. She at the damn hospital. And we glad she did run away because you was out here mistreating all the children. You under arrest. Goodbye. So Althena locked up the mama and the daddy and took them away. I mean, they was really like oblivious to what they was doing wrong. Anyway, so then we see back at the firehouse, Bobby and Hen, they watching the story, or Hen was watching the news story on a crazy ass family and stuff like that. And what happened? Oh, so Hen was basically telling Bobby, like, you just gotta let Buck be free. Buck is a self-sabotager. He messes up his own life or whatever like that. You just gotta let him do what he do, and you need to pull back the reins type thing. So then we see Buck and Eddie. Eddie walk in. He ain't feeling Buck. Buck, he give Buck the side eye, and Buck was like, yo, I'm sorry. Can we fix this type thing? And so he was like, no, because you wasn't even thinking about us when you went to sue the city. You was thinking about yourself. And Buck was being selfish. And Buck finally admitted that he was being selfish. Because after Eddie, let him know, like, Eddie spoke his mind and stuff like that. It was basically like, there is no I in team. You was out for self. And so Buck was like, I'm sorry. I was only thinking about myself. And, I just wanted to be back with the team and blah, blah, blah. So they hugged it out. They, they buddies and stuff again. So Bobby came in right after that. And at first it was like, Bobby came down, because he came down right after he spoke to Hen. So at first it would look like he was going, take Hen's advice and stuff like that. But he told he told Buck to go home. We was like, oh, really, Bobby? But anyway, he was just like, all right, you been here all day, you tired, just go home. You got a few free hours to yourself, go home. Buck was sitting there like, huh? You know how Buck be having that dumb face. But anyway, so Buck go home. He ran into the lady, because the lady, mind you, we saw the lady, we gonna say it was 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time it was, y'all. But anyway, we gonna say it was 7 o'clock in the morning. It is nighttime. This lady still got this man dangling in her windshield. Like, for real. I said, she been riding around with this man in her windshield all day. Like, I am literally dead right now. Like, nobody said, ma'am, it's a dead body. Like, so the man moved. So first Buck thought it was fake or whatever like that, because he was about to go back. He was about to head into the convenience center, because she was parked at the gas pump or whatever. Just shit getting gas, yo. So, and then the man moved his foot. And so Buck was like, oh, shit, wait a minute. That's real. So he was like, ma'am. So she had pulled off or whatever like that. So, of course, Buck got back in his car. He called 911 and told him what was going on. He told the lady to pull over. The lady was just like, sir, you're a horrible driver. Ma'am, you got a whole body in your windshield. Okay. You call it. Oh, okay. So, anyway, the ambulance come. I said, how she gonna call somebody a horrible driver? You got a whole goddamn body in your windshield. Who child? Pot calling kettle. So, the ambulance come. They get the man or whatever like that. Somehow, of course, because he on the blood thinners, he nicked his arm, so he bleeding, profusely. Well, not profusely, I shouldn't say, but it was a lot of blood going on his arm, because of course he on the blood thinners, and that's what happens when you cut yourself. A little cut, you can just bleed, and that's Bobby was trying to tell Buck or whatever like that. So next thing we see, Chimney and Maddie, they in the fire station. Maddie then came down to the fire station to tell, oh shoot, I skipped the part where Maddie's supervisor had called her into the office. Oh, no. Yeah. Maddie's supervisor had called her into the office. That's what the pirate dude, her good Judy, he told her that, you know, Susan, I don't know her name, the supervisor was looking for her, whatever like that. So Maddie go try to find the supervisor. The supervisor, no, before she gets to the supervisor, the lady that she's stalking popped up and was like, yeah, I had to come up here and file a complaint on a girl who's stalking me. So she had Maddie picture, like she had did like this Google search or something like that. So she pulled up all this stuff on Maddie. So Maddie's sitting in there with the supervisor. The supervisor, she about to tell the supervisor, you know, what was going on and stuff like that. The supervisor just like shut her up point blank. She was like, look, this lady didn't call in here 5 times, and on the 5th call, you received the call, and you just happened to get a gym membership and the lady worked there type thing. You became friends with her and stuff. So she was trying to help Maddie, you know, not F up her career point, you know, type thing. But she suggested that Maddie go see a therapist and stuff like that. And she said that she couldn't get back on the floor until she had psychoanalysis done, which was good because Maddie definitely needs to see somebody because Doug really put her through it and she really needed to talk to somebody about it. So anyway, fast forward, we see Maddie and Chimney, and Maddie was basically telling Chimney that he was right, and she told him like how she almost lost her job and all this other stuff. And then Chimney was like, and so she was like, I think I'm a little crazy. He was like, well, you're not the only one. I'm seeing crows and stuff. And she was like that crow right there. And he was like, yeah, like that crow. Wait a minute, you see the crow? So anyway, the crow had brought him back his badge. I said, they do that for real? I'm gonna really have to look up crows now because I didn't know all this about the crows. They done taught me something new. But anyway, so the crow brought him back his badge. He was all happy and stuff like that. So then the final scene, we see Buck and Bobby go down to the emergency room. He looking for Buck. He worried about him and stuff like that. Buck just needed to get looked over because, you know, of course he on the blood thinner, so doctors want to make sure he was okay. So pretty much it summed up what Bobby was basically gave Buck back all these bees and shit. So Bobby basically gave Buck back his position on the team so he can go out and you know, do duties and stuff like that. But I really need Buck to get his self-esteem up because he just act like he can't do nothing unless he a dang going firefighter. Like, boy, you are so much. Like, oh, he just drives me insane. But he's so cute. But anyway, that was the episode, y'all. I done rambled for 32 minutes. I do apologize, but y'all know I love this show and I can get a little carried away. So I hope y'all enjoy it. And that's pretty much it. What was I about to say? Oh, I can't wait. Y'all see it's going to be a new one, Lone Star, in January. So I am ready for that. It looks like it's going to come on right after this one go off. So, of course, I'll review that one too. But anyway, it was nice talking to y'all. Thanks for watching. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. What you waiting for? And if you enjoyed this long ass video, hit the like button. And until next time, y'all, peace.